Hi everyone, Guyde here, and I've got another answers video for you today where I respond to a viewer question. Today's question comes from viewer Karen, who writes, my boyfriend is bisexual and his ex is a very attractive gay guy. My boyfriend says he's ready to get married and settle down and have a few children, but he's still close to his ex. His ex is a few years younger, and he still looks to my boyfriend for advice and stuff like that. They talk every day, and sometimes he's at our house, and I can see the chemistry between them. Yes, I am jealous that they still hug and little pecks on the lips. And when I bring up that Sean shouldn't be coming around so much, my boyfriend gets annoyed. I want to fix him up with a gay guy in our building, but my boyfriend got pissed and told me to stay out of Sean's love life. I don't know, I always fall for guys who aren't heterosexual. I keep putting my wedding off because I'm not sure it's the right thing to do. Help. This one's not an easy question. And I'll start with a story of my marriage. So I met a guy and I immediately fell for him, and I fell for him hard. And we got together and started dating, and it went from 0 to 60 right away. And we said I love you very quickly, and before long we decided that we were going to get married. Now my ex does not like kids. He does not want kids, he doesn't want to raise kids, but I do want kids. Or I thought I did. And when we talked about getting married, I knew he didn't want kids and I knew that I did, but I basically decided, you know what, maybe I can give up kids for him. Maybe I can, give up that part of my life because I do love him and I want to marry him, and I think that we can be happy. And I just need to sort of get rid of that one desire, and then I think I can make this work. The problem is I didn't tell him that. I told him I didn't want kids. I didn't tell him I was giving it up. I didn't tell him that I thought that I could, move past it. I told him I didn't want them. I lied because I wanted the marriage to work. And so we got married, and it was fine, and we were good, and but there was always that nagging in the back of my head. What if I do want kids? Or maybe I do want kids, maybe I do want kids. No, I can give it up, I can give it up. It was just sort of an internal constant struggle of, am I giving up too much for this marriage? Am I giving up something that I really want in my life to be with this person? And it came down to, I was at a funeral for a family member, a grandfather, and being in that room with his kids and all of his grandkids and his great grandkids and all these people who loved him very much, and he created this amazing family. And I realized I need that. I want that. I want a big family. I wanted to be able to raise kids and get them and put them out in the world. And that's something that I needed in my life. And that sucked because I knew that it meant the end of my marriage. And thinking back, it really was not fair of me to lie to my husband, or to think that I could give up that part of myself. If anything, I should have talked to him about it. I should have told him what my fears were. I should have told him that I think I do want kids, and maybe we should talk about this first. But I didn't want to be alone. I found this great guy, and I didn't want to give him up because of this one thing. Now, that was a mistake, and I regret it, and I shouldn't have married him. It wasn't fair to me, and it wasn't fair to him, and basically, I don't want to say we wasted 4 years of our life, because I think we're both better people because of that marriage, but it could have gone a lot better. There were definitely things that I should have done differently, and one of them was talk to him before we got married. So really, my advice for you is to talk it out, and tell him you're having doubts, and explain the reason why. Don't make it about him. Don't try and say that he's doing something wrong and that's what the problem is. Make it about you. Say, this is how I feel. This is when I see you and Sean together. This is how it makes me feel. And it makes me doubt my trust in you. It makes me wonder if I'm fulfilling your needs. And it makes me wonder if this marriage is going to work and be long term. Especially when you're talking about kids. Kids need a stable environment. Whether that's 2 moms, 2 dads, or mom and dad, as long as it's a stable environment, happy environment that you can raise kids, that's what they need. if there's a reason that you think it may be unstable with this, ex-boyfriend coming around, then that's definitely a reason not to move forward. And relationships are about compromise. And I think if you get it out in the open and you talk to him about it and you make it about you and how you feel, and he should be willing to compromise. But you also have to be willing to compromise too. I've heard from many bisexuals that men and women fill different roles in their lives and different needs that they have. And it might be true that you fulfill many of your boyfriend's needs, and the need for and the desire for a stable marriage and kids, that's a need that he has, and something you can fill. But there may be needs that you can't fill, and that's why Sean still comes around. Maybe he needs this male companionship to make him happy. So I encourage you to talk it through, to listen to him and listen to what his needs are, and be willing to compromise. But make sure that he's compromising as well. It's a two-way street. You need to meet somewhere in the middle where you both can be happy and comfortable and have the same expectations about your relationship, and that you trust him. And from the tone of your message, it sounds like you don't trust him. It sounds like there are some doubts in your mind about how he feels about Sean or how he feels about boys in general. And there's not a complete trust there. And that's very important for marriage. And I definitely encourage you to make sure that the trust is there, make sure that you are sure it's what you want to do before you move forward with the wedding. And don't let fear of being alone or fear of losing this guy hold you back, because in the end you're going to be mad at yourself for wasting time if you look back and realize it was a mistake. And these conversations can be tough. And you might not be able to do it on your own. If it gets to a point where you're at a standstill and you can't seem to find a compromise, but you still both want to make it work, seek a professional help. See a counselor. I don't have counseling skills. I'm not a trained professional. So there are many other professionals out there who can help you talk through these problems, and the counselor will be able to hold you both accountable for your own side of the compromise and make sure that you're both getting what you need. In the end, you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to be with someone who makes you happy, and there's a trust in that relationship. So make sure that's there, and if it's not, then I think you're doing the right thing by holding off and putting off the wedding. Also, if you're looking to have the ex around less, don't set him up with someone in your building, set him up with someone across town. Anyway, I hope that helps. Leave a comment below if you have any other questions, and we can talk offline, or I can do another video for you. And for the rest of you, keep those questions coming. You can see there's a lot of activity in my comment section, but I do read them all. Leave me a question in the comments, or you can email me at thegayguide@gmail.com, and I'll keep you confidential if you'd like. And in the meantime, get out there and be who you needed growing up.